Chef Jesse here, back in the kitchen. Folks, I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Today's supposed to be real hot outside from what I hear. I haven't been out. Anyway, folks, today I'm going to make an all-traditional, all-American, round dinner, restaurant, round kind of dinner. Actually, but with a twist. I am making meatloaf today. But I have a special recipe, which is an Italian meatloaf. So I'm going to make it meatloaf, which is an all-American dish with an Italian twist. I'm going to put all kind of cheeses in it and everything. Anyway, when we get back from commercial break, I'm going to show you how it's done. But we have to go to commercial break now and station identification because somebody's got to pay the bills. So I'll see you when we come back from commercial. Hi, Vilma here. Well, I've tried to cook. And I have to cook within 1 hour. My husband's going to be home from work. And I'm trying to look all over the place for some seasoning. And I've gone to three supermarkets, and they told me that Goya is no longer available because they, oh my God. So anyway, they're telling me that Goya is unavailable, and I can't find any seasoning. I'm looking all over the place. I've been to 3 supermarkets, and I can't find it. I don't know what to do anymore. I really don't. And what? Well, excuse me? What's this? Sazon accent. Seems like what I'm looking for. It says it contains garlic, onion, and annatto. This might be the new one. This might be my Sazon accent. Hey, looks like it'll work. Oh, you have something else? Oh, look at that. You have one with cilantro and achote. Pretty amazing. Anyway, folks, this is the new one that I'm going to be using from now on because I can't find the other one that I used for so many years. I just can't find it in any supermarket. So anyway, I'm going to try this, and I'm going to see if it works, and hopefully it works, and hopefully my food comes out good because my husband's on his way from work, and he needs a good dinner. So anyway, folks, thank you. And remember, Sazon accent. Hey, Chef Jesse here, back from commercial break. Anyway, folks, today I'm going to do, like I said, a meatloaf Italian style. So I'm going to start first of all by let's wash this off a little bit. Okay. Now, I don't have a big pan, so I'm going to have to use this one. So I'm using about what is this? About 2 pounds of beef, ground beef. Okay. And there we go. Now I'm going to break this ground beef up. Okay. Break the beef up. Okay. I'm going to use fresh, well, not fresh, a day-old bread, and I'm going to soak it in milk. I should have soaked it for a little while, but let me soak it. Let me soak it now. Here we go. And okay. So I'm going to soak that bread in there for a few minutes. Okay. And so you can start soaking the bread, 5 or 10 minutes before. Okay. So you're gonna take and spread out your meatloaf, your meat there. I'm gonna put some breadcrumbs. This recipe doesn't call for breadcrumbs because it calls for bread, but I'm gonna cheat anyway, and I'm gonna put some breadcrumbs. I'm gonna need a little bit because the bread is gonna help it soften the meat up and bind it. So here I go, and I take I'm squeezing the milk out of the the bread, and I spread it out. Okay, spread it out. Okay, this is gonna. You don't want too much, but you want to spread it out. You're gonna mix it in there. Okay. There you go. Then I'm gonna use. The next thing I'm gonna use is scallion. A lot of people don't use this, but this is very good. It gives a lot of flavor and very refreshing. So here we go. We're gonna put this in there. Okay, here we go. It looks like this. Okay, don't put too much, but we're gonna put it in there. Okay. Then put some garlic in there because you gotta have garlic, folks. You gotta have garlic. If it's an Italian dish, you gotta have garlic. You can't go without garlic. So, and there's never enough garlic. That's what I say. Anyway. Folks. So now, there's some bread here. Got some more bread here. There you go. Put that in there. So now, what I'm gonna do to help it bind and to get it all together, I'm gonna beat 2 eggs into it. Well beaten. I can beat my eggs good. Make that noise. There we go. Okay. Let's get something here. I gotta get something over here. Okay. Sorry, I was off camera. Anyway, folks, I've beaten my eggs. Okay. I'm gonna put some salt in my eggs because if you put salt in the meat, it might not disperse evenly. So I want it to disperse evenly. So I'm gonna put some salt on inside my egg mix. Inside my beaten eggs. There you go, a little bit. Okay. Don't be scared. Okay. Soft. I got salt on my hands. I'm gonna beat it. And I'm going to put it in the mix. Now, what I'm going to do next is something that, like I said, this is Italian style. So, I'm going to use some ricotta. Okay? Now, the ricotta, it's going to mix in there. It's going to mix in there. Don't be scared. It's going to mix in there. It's going to melt in there. And it's going to give it a very good taste. I'm telling you, very good taste. This is going to be delicious. Ricotta cheese, okay? And now I'm going to use some fresh grinded Parmesan. I'll tell you, this thing is going to be full of cheese. All this cheese is going to melt in there. It's going to give it all the flavoring. Okay, all the flavoring. I'm telling you, this is Italian style meatloaf. Okay. Now for the finishing touch, before I mix all this stuff together, more cheese. Mozzarella, fresh mozzarella. Okay, so I'm going to put it in there like this. And I'm like this. And I'm going to mix all this stuff together. There you go. Now, to mix. Very carefully, you start to mix everything together. You know, it's kind of, you can use, I don't have a big deep pan for this, but you'd be using a big pan. Now this is looking delicious already, I'm telling you. Okay, so you mix everything up in there, make sure you distribute everything, the meat, everything together. Okay, don't be scared. Give it a twist, twist it. It's kind of messy, but this is what the food is. I mean, this is what it looks like. This cheese is gonna melt in there. It's going to give us that such flavor. And I put some fresh in there. I had some fresh basil and some cilantro and a bay leaf. And this is going to be my meatloaf. I mean, this is already starting to look so good. Okay. Now let me take this out of here. Put it on the side here. Put that on the side. Okay. And then I'm putting this to the side because I'm gonna go clean up the. I'm gonna clean the pan. Like I said, usually you use a bowl, but I don't have a deep bowl. So I use the pan. So I'm going to wash the pan off, and then I'm going to prepare the pan again to be ready to put the meatloaf inside. So wait up. Okay, so I got my pan all washed up and everything, ready to go. I'm going to put some olive oil. I use olive oil a lot. Some good extra virgin olive oil just on the pan to prevent sticking and to give it a little bit of flavor also. And brush this around the pan like so. Okay, there we go. Just like if you were baking a cake. Grease up the pan, olive oil. Now I'm gonna get my meat and I'm gonna shape it into a loaf. This is pretty big, my God. I wish I had company over. If you guys want to come over, call me from the window and I'll come downstairs and deliver it to you. But, you know, because of this COVID, I haven't been able to work. I haven't been able to do anything. So, but you're more than welcome to come over and shout my name, Chef Jesse, Chef Jesse. I live on the 4th floor, so I will hear you. Chef Jesse, Chef Jesse will call me on the intercom downstairs, and I will come down and give you a whole entree of food. Okay. So this looks good right now. This looks good just like it is. Okay. Wash my hands. You gotta wash your hands regularly, folks, when you're working with stuff like this. I use paper towels. I use tons of paper towels because every time I wash, I throw it away. Anyway, okay. Now here comes a little bit of olive oil sprinkled on top for flavoring. There you go, just straight down, up and down. Okay. Got a little bit of garlic powder here, so I'm gonna put garlic powder and finish that off. Maybe a little bit of more cheese, I don't know. This is gonna be very cheesy meatloaf. It's very cheesy meatloaf. Okay, there we go. Where's the cover for this? Okay. Then you're gonna take aluminum foil. Aluminum foil. Let me measure this, make sure that I got the right length. Okay. Now what I like to do, is spray baking spray on this stuff so that the meatloaf or anything that I'm cooking won't stick to the top. So I spray some of this generously. This is Mazola butter flavor. Okay, so I'm preheating my oven. Okay, here we go. But let me show you how. So you can get a good picture of how it looks. That's how the meatloaf looks. Okay, pretty big, huh? I'm gonna eat for days. Anyway, folks, so I cover this up. I got my oven preheated at 350. I'm going to bake this. I'm gonna put it in the oven at 350. At 350 for 45 minutes. Then I'm going to take the aluminum foil off and cook it for another hour. Maybe an hour and a half. Because remember, this is a big piece of meatloaf. It's very thick, so it's got to cook. And again, for your safety, a thermometer. Okay. Everybody's getting the temperature taken out. Why not my meatloaf? So, take your meatloaf's temperature. Make sure it tells you right here, tells you what kind of meats. Ground meats should be at 160 degrees inside. So I take it from the middle and make sure that it's 160 or above. Okay? So remember, folks, 45 minutes, cover it up. Then I'm gonna make take the cover off, put it in for about another hour, hour and a half at the same degrees, 350. And I'm going to monitor it. I'm just make sure that, you know, the topper is going to get a nice coating, nice, you know, crunchy to coating, and make sure it doesn't burn or dry up, okay? And then I'm going to be making my corn, and I'm going to be making gravy, homemade gravy. I'm not going to use gravy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own gravy with beef broth, and then I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to put some cornstarch in it, thicken it up, make a gravy for it. But this meatloaf, actually, the recipe calls for a pasta sauce. Okay, so sauce, gravy, whatever you guys want to call it. I'm not gonna get into that. I call it sauce. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little bit of sauce on the side, and then we're gonna serve the meatloaf with the sauce with a little blob of ricotta on top of it, and that's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be eaten. But of course, I'll make gravy because Gilbert likes gravy, so I'll make a little bit of gravy on the side. But I'm definitely gonna make the tomato pasta sauce and put some on top, and then. So anyway, folks, thank you for enjoying viewing me today, and this is Meatloaf Italian Style by Chef Jesse, and I'll be back at the end of the show. Of course, I'll be back to show you how it's done. But for right now, I show you easy steps, and this is a nice dinner for a Sunday. Hope you guys enjoy your day. And let me get this cooking because I got to get the oven going.